All right, good morning, guys. Today, just kind of going over real quick what we're going to do for the training session. We're obviously going to do some preparation, some mobility work to prepare. Again, one of our Tactfit workouts we've been working on for the last few weeks. This one's out of a program called Tactfit Survival. If you're a martial artist, Jiu-Jitsu especially, practitioner, you'll notice a lot of similarities in some of our Jiu-Jitsu training. It's just really trying to dial in the movement and understanding how to integrate your movement in terms of like creating the proper tension to support your joints, so you're not going into these movements with what I like to call slack joints and where you can injure yourself. If you're not a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, that's great too, because it's still working on movement and how to engage your body, and it may be taking you out of your normal movement patterns and introducing new movement patterns, which is awesome because it helps. Sometimes it can help kind of unravel maybe compensations you've created from just doing the same movements over and over again. Also, it's going to help create referred to as neuroplasticity. Anytime you're learning something new, you're basically training not just your physical body but your brain as well. So it's a great tool for doing that also. And so we're going to start with our warm-up and prep. We'll go through all, even though we've done this before, we'll go through all the movements and also add in some regressions or modifications to the movements, so that way everybody can participate and get benefit from the training. Okay? All right, so we're going to start just with mobility drills as we've been doing, working the neck first. So forward, back lifting. Okay, and then we're going to go side to side. So rotating to the side, back and forth. Again, trying to go to your edge. Exhale through. Ear to shoulder. Lifting the jawline. Good. All right, now we're going to work on some shoulders. So we're going to bring the arms up, elevate, pack. Try to keep the elbows as locked as possible. Rotate. And then reverse. Good. All right, reaching across. I'm going to reach across. Make sure, again, pack the shoulder down. Use the pec. Kind of reach and open up the lat and the rear part of the shoulder. Thumbs down. So make sure your thumb's facing down. And then reverse. Okay, now we're reaching behind, so now it's the opposite. So I'm using my upper back to open up the pec. Rotating. Reverse. Good. Same thing, opposite side, reaching across, thumb down. Reverse. And then behind. Reverse. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do the arm screw. So you're going to be reaching out. Okay. So reaching one arm, reaching the other, kind of elevate, pack down. Now with this arm, elevate the shoulder. You're going to rotate like you're I think of like wringing out a towel. So rotate, okay, reaching with this arm and squeezing it out. And then come back up, opposite. So now I'm going to, from here, elevate, rotate, squeeze it out. And just back and forth. Arms forward, bring them up, opening up. Opposite direction. Okay, now just from the shoulders, so we kind of let the arms relax. Pull the shoulders back. So you're kind of pinching the shoulder blades down and back. Elevate towards the ears, rolling forward, and then just trying to smooth it out. Now opposite. Up, back, and down. Good. All right, now, again, working from just the pelvis to start with. So we're just going to go tilt. So we're tilting back. Boom. So you should feel some opening up back here. So now my glutes engage, actually even my quads engage a little bit, opening up the hip flexor, engaging the lower abs, back and forth. Good. All right, from there, we're going to open up, okay, so feet are parallel. We're going to open up, so we're reaching back with the arms, keeping the shoulders packed down, and also going into a little bit of a tilt here from getting extension. Okay, that's going to be the breath in. So I'm taking my big breath in. Okay, now as I exhale, tilt the opposite way. Bring the ribs down, squeeze the glutes, and press the air out. So pack the shoulders down, and then open up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. All right, working the hips. So you're going to press the hips back to the corner. Open up the hip flexor, opening forward. Shift the other side, back to the corner, and then try to smooth it out. Reverse. Good. All right, now working our hinge. So we're going to get our feet together. Nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale. Belly button to spine. Arms back. Pack the shoulders. So I'm not retracting. I want to pull them down. Press back. Try to create that length from the crown of the head down to the tailbone. Big inhale. Exhale. Reaching forward. Fingertips together. Pack the shoulders. Try to reach back a little further with the hips as you press the balls of the feet together and into the ground. One more inhale. And exhale. And then slowly come up. Same thing, feet wide. Okay, create an internal torque, lower body. Big inhale, get tall. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale. Arms out. Hips back. Pressing back. Reaching forward. Try to press back a little further. Continue to create internal torque. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. And then slowly come up. All right, last one. Feet parallel. Big inhale. Exhale. Arms forward. Reaching back. Big inhale again. And exhale. And slowly come up. All right, next one. Okay, we're just going to work the squat a little bit different. So it's kind of a little bit like a bootstrapper, okay, but we're going to work it to build the squat pattern. So we're going to try, if you can, keep your feet parallel about hip width apart. Okay, from here, you're going to continue with that same hinge pattern. So I'm going to hinge back, okay, so rather than reaching out, I'm going to reach down. And just kind of find the limit of that range for you. So right now we're keeping a neutral spine. Okay, so if I can reach under my toes, fine. If not, now I can start to bend the knees a little bit until I kind of lift my toes up, and I'm going to hook underneath my toes. So first I'm hinging, reaching down, maintain the neutral spine with my legs straight. Now, bend the knees if I need to, lift my toes, grab underneath my toes. Then from here, I'm going to use my hip flexors. I'm going to pull myself down into the squat. So I'm going to hook in here, make sure my arms stay inside my knees, and I'm pulling myself down. As I pull down, I want to keep tension. So I'm engaging, pulling, driving the knees out. And I can use, again, my feet to create the tension. With my arms, create the tension off my feet, pulling myself even a little bit deeper, driving the knees out, pulling down. It's like I'm trying to pull my knees up as I squat. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now I'm going to bring my right arm up, my left arm up. I'm already in the squat. So what I'm going to work on now is lifting the chest, but keeping the shoulders packed. So the tendency might be to do this. So I don't want to do that. I want to stay in my squat, work on driving the knees out, then creating external torque at the upper body, rolling the shoulders down. Chest is lifting, so I'm creating that mobility in the upper back, holding that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Now as I go to stand up, make sure my core is engaged, shoulder pack is on, press through the heels, extend the hips fully, squeeze the glutes. Okay? So very important here is kind of finding the balance, right? So if you're two ends of the spectrum, if I'm super flexible, okay, the tendency might be to just get to the bottom of that and relax, okay? Shouldn't relax, okay? We're trying to build tension. If I'm super tight, okay, the tendency might be to give up on it because it's really hard, right? So you have to spend time in the position to build it up, okay? So if you're super mobile, we want a stable joint, not a lax joint. So if you're super mobile, building that tension will help build that stability. If I'm super tight, on the other side of it, I don't have the mobility. So I'm trying to build it. But if I don't spend time there, a lot of times I'm not going to get to that where I can actually increase it. So the tendency I know from my experience has been, man, it's really, really hard. I can't get there. So what I end up doing is you back out of it, right? So spending time there will help you eventually gain a little bit more, just a little bit by a little bit, to where you're moving better, and that's the goal, okay? So, again, we're going to go hinge back, let the arms come down, and bend the knees as much as needed. Arms are going inside the knees, lift the toes, reach underneath. And then from here, actively pull. So you're using your hip flexors to pull yourself down, open the knees out, creating that external torque, pulling yourself down into it a little bit more, actively engage the hip flexors, pull down, drive the knees out, 10 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now reaching forward, try to stay down in it, knees are driving out, sit down into the heels, arms straight out. So you're working not just your hips, but your thoracic spine as well. So if you don't really focus on back in the shoulders, reaching out, think of lifting the chest and then sitting back into your heels. You may be missing some of that. Okay, 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Press through the heels. Stand up. Squeeze the glutes. One more time. Hips back. Reaching down. Pulling down. So actively engage in the hip flexors. Pull yourself down into it. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, one arm up, other arm up. Continue to drive the knees out. Okay, now, from here, we're going to do a little bit different. We're going to focus on the core first. So you're going to bring the belly button towards the spine. So I'm bringing everything in and then lengthen. Everything in, lengthen. Shoulders down, looking straight ahead. Pack the shoulders. The lats should be engaged. Press to the heels. Squeeze at the top. Okay? All right, good. All right, so that's our warm-up for today. We'll get right into our movements. Okay, so ground compression. All right, I'm going to have Larry demonstrate from the ground. I'm going to show a slight modification of it. Okay, so very similar. We already getting into the squat. Okay, it's a kind of a, you're in a squat, kind of a squat stance. Okay, but you're working on pressure into the ground. Okay, so I have to have my hands on the ground or on, I'll show it on these pads here, where I'm pressing. So I'm creating that torque into the ground. My hands are spread, okay, and I've got a good grip. If I have my fingertips on the ground, I'll see that sometimes with push-ups, like people's hands are all crunched up or together or kind of on their fingers sometimes. They don't have good contact with the ground. You're going to miss a piece of it, right? So that's a big piece of this one. So don't, even though your legs will get tired, you're engaging the upper body, all the same things we've been working on. External torque, lats engagement, core engagement, okay? So as Larry goes down, and she's nice and flat here. Her chest is kind of sitting on top of her thighs, which is what we want, okay? If she goes to one side, she's going to rotate one hand, okay? She rotates the hand here. She's pressing into the ground so she can move her feet, okay? And she's to the side. Now, when she comes back, she just reverses her hands. And then other side, okay? Just back and so same thing here. If you have a hard time getting to that position, okay, you can elevate it, right? So for me, I'll go here. Actually, go this way. So now, for me, it's a little bit easier to get to that position and put good, strong pressure on the ground. So I'm going to push my hips back, okay? I'm going to lean over, so my chest is going to be more on top of my thigh. So I press the hand down here, press down here, okay? So I'm engaging my posterior chain, but I'm also pressing down, engaging the lat and core. So go to one side, it's the same thing. It's just I'm going to be a little bit higher off the ground, pressing down, switch, switch. Okay? And just like we've tried to work with all our movement in this movement practice, try to exhale through the movement. You don't want to hold the breath during it. Try to exhale as you move, okay? Yeah, so that one, if you just, you have trouble with that one, just work your squat. So just like we practiced already, not like a bootstrapper squat, but just a basic squat, just working on here, okay? Because most likely if you're having trouble with this, it's because you're having a hard time squatting down low enough to get to the floor, right? So just a modification, just working on that squat, okay? And we've been doing a lot of that, so I don't think we have to go over the squat, okay? Penetration kick. So you want me to do it or you want to do it? Okay. So we're going to start this one from, you can almost think like child's pose to begin with. And then it's just going to be our setup here, okay? So we're going to set up, we're going to start from like a sit-through position, okay? So we're going to sit through like normal, okay? Pack the shoulder, but this foot's going to plant. So now this foot's going to come down. Now, it's kind of like a tripod, not a tripod, but a table lift. So Larry's going to open up the other side. He's going to elevate the hips. Boom. Okay, so that's the table lift aspect of it. She's going to come back, rotate back to the original position, but she's going to go into down dog. Okay? Then she's going to come back, sit through, open up, bridge, reach back over, come through, down dog. Okay? So that's the sequence. All right? And then for that one, I think we said, yeah, so you can work on, if you have trouble with your shoulders and that table lift position's too much, you can simply work on a bridge. Okay? Just working the bridge. Okay? Or you can work the bridge also adding in the rotation. So as Lara bridges up, she's going to try to stack, but she's not coming off this foot. So if she really fights hard with this hip over here and reaches, it's really good for the obviously the hips, but also the thoracic mobility. Okay, that's another variation. So that takes the stress off the shoulders. That can be your modification for that. Okay. Roll. Ooh, this could be interesting. Roll. This speaker on. Okay. So rolling sprawl. Okay. Is going to be basically like a back fall, okay? So you're tucking the chin, making sure you're not exposing your spine. You're going to a squat. The lower you squat, the better, less impact, right? So, this, okay. So I'm going to go into my squat, okay? Get as low as I can. Tuck my chin. As I go back, I'm kind of do a little bit of a break fall if you need to. So here, boom, I go back. Elevate my hips like a spinal rock. Come through over my shoulder, my foot touches. Okay? As I come through here, I never put my hips down. Okay? Bring my arms under, and I push off into this position. Kind of like a plank. Right? Now from here, I just come to my hands. I can go into a little bit of a down dog if I need to, but I'm basically going to pull myself back forward and back up. Okay? So one more time. I'll kind of go the other side.
He's keeping his hands really close in.
Yeah, I never touch my legs to the ground.
Legs
So
never touch the ground.
now I'll go to the opposite side, if I can remember what side I went to. Boom. Okay. Back. Elevate. Now I'm on this side. Bring my hands in. Okay? I'm kind of doing like what we'll call a screw-up push-up. I'm pushing off this side. Boom. Now from here, I can bring my hands up and pull forward and back up. Okay?
That's obviously very complex, so we don't anticipate most people doing that one. So the modification for this one would be the face the spinal rock, right?
Or the
Remember we just added the spinal rock.
spinal rock. Okay, so you can just do the spinal rock, which is a piece of it. Okay, that's your modification for that. Okay, survival plank. A lot of core here and also rotation. Okay, so you're going to start off here, hands right underneath the shoulders. Okay, step back into my top of my push-up. Okay, I will go down into the push-up basically, but I'm being explosive and using the core, and I'm going to here. Okay, so I'm pulling, stacking my feet and hips and shoulders, keeping the lat on, and rotating. Okay, again, that's too much, not a problem. You have two variations here, just the basic plank, hollow position, or side plank. When I'm in the side plank, I don't want to sink, so I'm pressing down with my elbow, engaging my lat, stacking my feet and hips, bringing my top hip up. Okay? Then for our rear spring kick, we worked on this before. I'm going to let you do it, and then I'll do it off that. So, like the mountain climber, like we did yesterday. So, it's basically very similar to the mountain climber. So, if you have the capacity to put your knee inside your hands, that will be the goal, right? So, it's a mountain climber, but we're going to go inside versus outside. And when you switch the legs, boop, and try to keep the hips elevated a little bit more if you can. Really squeezing this glute. So I'm pushing back with that heel, extending this leg. Whoops, sorry. That's why I call it the rear spring kick. She almost knocked me out. Okay. But you're kicking back not just hopping. Okay? Again, if that's too much, not a problem. You can elevate the hands off the ground, and you can also go outside. Okay? So for me, here, hands will be here, so I've still got that external torque here when I switch. So for me, this is very, very challenging, right? So I can go outside to work that mobility, the same thing, though. I'm kicking this leg back, pressing in the whole time. Okay? My hips should stay basically put. My core's engaged the whole time, lats engaged the whole time. Using the rear glute as I come back. Yeah, so you can, like we did yesterday, Larry will show that. You can come here, just coming up, stepping up. If you can go inside, you can go inside. If not, you can go outside. Same thing. Or you can even keep the knee on the ground. Like so. Come on. Yep. Okay. And then last one, the wall thrust kick. You have the basic sit through again. Okay. Sit through with the leg extended. Okay. You can keep it on the ground. You can keep both hands on the ground if you need to. Okay. Or when you do it to the wall, you're basically just, I won't kick it hard. Can you do just the pad so they can see? Yep. So I'm just having a surface to kick if you have the wall. Okay. So now when I come through, okay, that's the wall thrust kick. Okay. All right. That's all the movements. We're going to go 90 seconds of each. 30-second rest between exercises. Our goal is 3 rounds. So we're starting with the ground compression.
On the first round, we're going to do all modifications. What's called on the back.
Is that set for a minute and a half? Oops, I didn't do it. I think it's on the wrong thing. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, wrist. Going to the roll, penetration kick next. All right, starting in 10 seconds. Rest. All right, survival plank next. Oh, I skipped. Yeah, rolling sprawls, my bad. All right, survival plank. All right, wall thrust kick. This one will go 45 seconds. A rear spring kick. Keep skipping every other one.
You're doing the modification, child's pose to mountain climb.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to wall thrust kick. 45 seconds each side. I'm just going to do them all. I'm not going to kick it that hard. Switch. All right. Just in the interest of time, we're going to go one more round, okay? Back to ground compressions. Penetration kick. right, rolling sprawl. Survival plank. All right, rear spring kick. All right, last one. And switch. Missing the best part. Missing the best part. All right, good stuff today, guys. Hope you got a little sweat going. Work your movement. If you got time, do 5 minutes of box breathing to finish up. And we'll see you guys back.